it's not on religious grounds. It's on the substantive issues about what it means to own that gTLD, own that word. And until they get to the point, hopefully in collaboration with others, because they can't do it by themselves, this stuff's got to be worked through. The fact that they didn't think about it when they started is, it's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. It didn't take much thought when they said we're going to open this up to just about anything, but we're going to rule out nasty words and foul words and so forth, or insulting words. It is I don't know what drove them to this, especially since in the previous decade and a half they did about 24 names.
Right, and of those 24 names, not a whole lot of them have succeeded.
No.
You have a handful. You have .com, .org, .net, and then you have .travel and .name, .pro that most people haven't heard of.
.int, right.
And so you would think, well, based on this wonderful market intelligence of these other dozen not working, well, let's expand it by this much.
What motivated them to do it the way they did it is probably a history that will never get written, because the people on the inside probably will,
Don't you think this was just a matter of the people that are in the business of buying and selling domains and creating as much volume and as much tonnage as possible basically had the reins?
Certainly there's evidence to that, that's true, and it was also extremely profitable for ICANN. So there were big fish stakeholders in the private sector and in this sector who just simply said, this is. There's one of them, not to besmirch them, but one of the new top-level domains has been issued, and I wish them well, because what I'm about to say isn't flattering, is .CEO. People, and for it to work, they have to open it up to a whole lot of people. And when I met with them, I said, you've got a risk here, and that's that people are going to look at .CEO and treat it the way the auto-buying public treated the Edsel. It was supposed to be for the successful businessman, and instead it was for the incompetent trying to overreach their image.
Sort of like .cool. If you have to put your name under .cool.
Yeah. But somebody will come along with something branded called cool and pick it up for a penny. And this is the turmoil that's going around, and it doesn't appear to me that there's a real brain trust inside ICANN that says, what are the hot button issues that we should move to the fore? What are the ones in which we need a collaborative approach to go forward with? I fear and expect that what will come out of the Brazilian meetings are two things. One, Brazil is extremely mad about NSA spying on Brazil, so they'll use this as a platform to stick a finger in somebody's eye. And the other will be something that is of no consequence that will be treated as though it's something substantive. And they'll say, well, the Brazilian declaration was, and that means, well, the Brazilian declaration may be whatever wording it is, but it's not going to mean what they say it means, and it's going to be discarded the minute context changes. So what you need to do is get a really wide discussion here that involves people getting educated. And I think that, from my perspective, it's not because I've done work in health, but because I've done work in a whole bunch of other areas. I think that health is going to be one of the hot button issues because everybody's got a personal interest in it. And if it hits them on car insurance, travel insurance, health insurance, medical access, we won't cover you with this because when you were 13 years old you did that. So there's where I think that's going to be one of the flashpoints. A lot of people worry about similar things in finance, and they're big ones in finance. But if you haven't got any money, you're not worried about interest rates on car loans. You don't have any money, but you still have your health.
Cool. Okay, last word. What's your thought on Bitcoin?
Bitcoin, recently people left Goldman Sachs to work on a company that dealt with Bitcoin. I get a lot of flack from the Bitcoin people because I say it's a fiat money. They go, no, it's not a fiat money because it wasn't created by a government. So I expect that the smart players will, every time they make $1, they'll take 50 cents away and put the other 50 cents back in. They'll do that kind of gamble. It's a massive gamble. It's about to be hit by competitors. And I don't think any of them will survive in the long run. There's a scope for digital money and digital transactions and so forth, but it will end up being either commodity-based or some kind of collaborative fiat money.
So you would tend to go along with people that think it's a bit of a pyramid scheme, that the people that got in quickly have made some good money and a lot of people that come in late will not.
Yeah, and if you get in and out, you can even play the game now if you're like, you know, you can make money on any kind of volatility. You can be volatility on pork bellies or coffee or Bitcoin. But you can lose your shirt. And the thing with Bitcoin is when it goes through the floor, you can't take it home and eat it. It's just gone. But the other thing about it is that its supporters, for the most part, are two groups. True believers, which is a very bad basis for making material decisions, and those who are saying, we're going to make money off of the Bitcoin process, but we're not going to hold Bitcoins. So I suspect a lot of these places that are saying, you can pay us in Bitcoins, the minute you pay them in Bitcoins, they sell it. And the other one is what people aren't looking at here is the phenomenal physical movements of the main other currency commodity, that's gold. The Chinese are buying up physical gold. Both private Chinese in China, which are allowed to own it now because they don't have pensions. They don't, how are you going to provide for your old age? Buy and hide gold. But the Chinese financial system and government are buying. If you look at the figures on how much gold they're buying this year compared to last year and the year before that, it's one of those hockey graphs. And so it's both gold, Bitcoin. I expect there'll be a point at which it goes sideways and then down. For reasons that have to do with what makes money. Whether it's a digital money or not, there are still basic properties that make money. It's a unit of count, it's a unit of storage, it's a unit of transaction. Now it's a unit of transaction, and people are storing it, but that's risky. I hope that who gets hurt isn't too small. If the big people get hurt, fine.
Okay, it's been great.
Thank you
very much.